Eventually we're going to get to the topic of aerial arts, but I wanted to talk a little bit about some of my creative endeavors more in general, and my formation as a creative person and how I got to where I am. So I was thinking about this topic of layers and all of the layers that go into my creative processes and the things that I do. Oopsie, skipped one. Or two. Ooh. So this is my journey to aerial arts, and I wanted to talk a little bit about dance because dance is very important as an aerialist. And I started dancing, I think maybe when I was about 8 years old. So I've taken dance lessons and I continue to take them. I recently discovered the Studio Dundee on 50th and Hamilton. Yeah, they're amazing. They have such great adult dance classes. I highly recommend. They've got something for everyone. This last year, I had a really awesome opportunity to be a backup dancer for someone who was competing in a drag pageant. And that was a fascinating experience. And now I'm obsessed with drag. I continue to just regular dance aside from dancing in the air. And then music, I would say music is probably the most important and earliest part of my creative formation. My grandma played the piano for this odd little TV show. I don't know how long it lasted. It was called Miss Jean's Storytime. It was on Channel 3 on Sunday mornings, and they told Bible stories. Miss Jean told Bible stories. And so she would tell you a couple weeks in advance what the Bible stories were going to be. And she would ask kids to color pictures that represented the Bible story. And then it was a massive effort. They put all these pictures up on these bulletin boards, and then she would use a pointer to point to each picture as she told the Bible story. And then there'd be a break, and they would have a choir sing. So for the Christmas episodes, my siblings and I and her grandkids would sing the songs. So I think I did that. I think I started when I was like 3 or 4 and did it until I was 13. So, and I just come from a musical family, just always singing. Church, campfire, in the car. My mom made sure I had all the important musical education, Sound of Music, Music Man, all those things. And I sang in choir, and I performed, I think from about 2010 to about 2016 with a local group called Ether Plow. They no longer exist. I believe all the leaders moved out of Omaha. And then also as part of a musical duo called the Fairy Tones. We were a folk duo singing and playing ukuleles and other things. Some of you, I know Amy probably saw us perform with my dear friend Chelsea Taxman, who moved away. So that was the only reason that no longer exists. I continue to perform Monday through Friday from 8:45 to 9 a.m. in my car, if you're interested. Play. I think as adults we so often lose our ability or our connection to play, and it's so important. And so that's probably like my mission statement is like, everybody needs to play. Come play with me. Color. Everything I do tends to have a lot of color, as you can see here. It's one of the things that inspires me. And then joy is sort of my final goal, I guess, in every creative endeavor that I pursue. I want people to feel happiness and feel joy. And so some of my favorite ways to be creative, I like to create interactive experiences. I want people to get involved. I want to collaborate with people. And I want to create things that are unique, different, maybe odd. A lot of you know this about me already and have participated in some of my weird things that I do. So last year, one of my big projects was the Surrealist Costume Ball that I held here in this space. And it was very fun. Luke, you attended. And the idea, so you can see here, I created this pit full of cut up pool noodles. those are my grandkids with me in the pit. And so that was here, and it was just for people to have like a sort of a different tactile experience. And then up on the stage, this idea wasn't fully fleshed out enough, but I created another pool full of whoopee cushions. That didn't quite work because it's really hard to blow up all the whoopee cushions again after someone dives in. So, but the idea was to have a costume experience that provided some new and different things to explore and ways to interact with each other. And I'm doing it again here in November. I don't remember the exact date, but stay tuned. And there will be even more new and different things this year. Oh yeah, we did an interactive balloon sculpture. We just kept blowing up balloons and taught people how to, if they didn't know already, tie them, and just co-created this really beautiful sculpture that you can see a picture of there. And they're really. In November, I did a photo narrative that was really designed to be a humor piece for Facebook because of the way Facebook presents photo albums. Some of you are probably familiar with this. You can only see like the first 5 or 6 pictures. And so it's one of those things where you have to click through it to like get the whole thing. So it was tricky because there were people who didn't. They just saw the pictures and they were like, congratulations. But I didn't get married. I saw this meme. I want a small, tasteful wedding. No family, no friends, no groom, just me eating a big cake. And I thought, yeah, I want to do that. I can do that. Why not? So I got some bridesmaids. 2 of them are here, Ella and Rachel, and ordered a bunch of cakes. And we just really, really had a great time. I have a photo album here of the whole thing if anybody wants to look at it later. But you can also see it in my Facebook account. It's public. I recently got to collaborate on making this 30-second film, Sweet Baby Jesus. It's also a cake theme. It's on YouTube. I had a blast making it with 2 other local filmmakers, Todd Graves and Dave Green. Is his last name Dave Terrell Green? I can't. Yes. So it's got a surprise ending. I'm not going to reveal it. You can go on YouTube and find it and watch it. Oh, that's the baby Jesus. So I included this quote from Henry James because all of those things that I like to do require a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of planning. But I need something to feed my soul on a more maybe daily, weekly, regular basis. And that's kind of why I do aerial. I can't really collaborate on aerial or provide the kind of joy and interaction that I want. So aerial's just for me, but I do share it by performing on the internet, which is something I've been pondering a lot lately too, is like, thank goodness for the internet, so that it makes it a lot easier to just perform whenever we want to. So aerial arts. I'm going to talk a little bit about these apparatuses here. As part of my dance journey, I forgot to say, it sort of kind of shifted into a more in general exploration of movement journey. In 2005, I did a yoga teacher training at what is now Yoga Now. And then I soon after discovered hammock yoga and went to an organization in Colorado and did my level 1 and level 2 aerial hammock yoga teacher training, which just then kept leading to more and more aerial exploration. So I have 6 different apparatuses here that I'm going to talk about. And some of you have seen this already. And I just thought I'd explain the differences and show you a little bit of how they all work. Take my boots off. And I know I was going to have a helper for this part up here. Oh, yes, thank you. Do you want to hold these 2 maybe and pull them off to the side? So this is an aerial hammock, and this is what I started with, and this is the easiest of all the apparatuses because it provides this nice, soft base underneath you. And it's very versatile. You can use it to do a lot of yoga and stretching and things that really feel good. But also it can be used for acrobatics and performance. So I'm just going to hop in really quick here. The beauty of the hammock is that it's the longest, and it's the one you can kind of stretch out in fully. You can't really get this experience with the others. All right, I'll trade you for the blue one.
Just the blue?
Yeah. There we go. This is what's called an aerial hoop or a lyra. It's just a metal hoop. It comes in lots of different sizes. This is probably the next level of difficulty up. A lot of people who try aerial don't like the hard apparatuses because they're pinchy and they hurt a lot more. So I don't want to pull too hard. Am I gonna? So just for example, there's simple things you can do on these as well. And then I'll trade you this one. This is a mini hoop, and I just really like it because it's so cute. And this one is taped, so it's a little grippier and easier to hang on to than that one that's not taped, which allows you to slide around in it. So yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And then down here, we'll start with silks. Silks is probably the most difficult of all of the apparatuses. There are others that I haven't tried yet, like aerial rope and straps, yeah. So you'll see the silks is divided into two pieces. So basically, it's the same fabric as the hammock. It's just inverted. So you could just take a hammock and knot it in the middle and then release the two sides down. So what that means is you have to learn how to tie it and wrap it around you to hold you in the air, because it won't do that on its own like the hammock does. So you learn a lot of what we call locks and hitches. So this is a foot lock if I want to come to standing and be comfortable that way. That's one of the ways you would do it on silks. And then we'll switch up here. So next we'll talk about trapeze, another one of my faves. I like trapeze because it's a combination of the hard apparatuses and the fabric ones, because you got the hard bar on the bottom and then the softness of the ropes. And a trapeze can either be called a dance trapeze or a static trapeze, depending on how you rig it at the top. The ropes can be together, so forming kind of a triangle shape, or they can be going completely straight up and connecting that way. This is a trapeze that's big enough for two people to use. It's got this extra space on the outside. And then finally, we'll talk about flying pole. So, very much like a regular fitness pole, if any of you have ever taken pole classes, just that it's not attached to the floor on the bottom. So it's got the extra. I won't be able to swing around too much because of this stuff behind me. Sure, yeah. Let's see. A little lower. Yeah. It's so fun. So this pole, okay, you can let go. Thank you, Rachel. This pole is silicone, so it's grippier, it's easier to hang on to, and it requires wearing clothing. Unlike the metal ones, you have to use your skin, which is why so often pole dancers are scantily clad, because it's the only way to keep yourself connected to the pole. It's necessary for safety. So, does anybody have any questions?